Welcome back to RollerCoaster Tycoon. We're in Forest Frontiers and roughly halfway through this scenario. Since it's only a one-year scenario, we're in July, just beginning of July. And things are pretty much humming along here, but we might need another handyman in this zone. There seems to be quite a bit of vomit going on around here. It's not great. Other than that, we're at 298 guests. And let's look for another ride to put in. A vlog film would do. Let's build a custom one. I kind of want to confine it to this general zone here. Entrance and exit can be facing this path here. I do want to give a little space for a queue line there. That's probably good. Now I can actually lower this down just a touch to give it a little bit of starting momentum. Or if I can, yeah, I can just dip that one in. And then we'll go straight into the hill here. It looks like I have to take that one all the way down. This one I can dip in. Now, in general, I just want to get as high up as I really can here, but I don't really want to drop it all at once because there's not much momentum in this type of ride. So we can just do a few small splashes at a time. And after we go down one level, we've got some good air in there. We can go back up. And meander sort of through the park a little bit. Give it a little bit of texture. I'm going to intersect there. Oops. A little too close. And then we'll go all back up and get ready for the final sort of mega drop splash here. Let's actually go out a little bit more. Give us room to drop all the way down. Do a little bit of straight section, and then I should be able to get it back to the station platform there. This could be a little tricky here. Maybe a little janky, but it does the trick. And that's the log flume. Now let's throw an entrance and exit on it and test it out. I will want to make sure that these cars aren't way too behind each other once I actually open it, so that the guests can get on the ride in regular intervals and they're not all out on the track for a few minutes at a time. And I can do that by setting the station sort of push-off increment how long it waits for guests before it leaves the station. That should be good there. And then let's give it an exit path. Like so. Because obviously in test mode they've all left the station immediately, and that would be bad for people to be waiting that long for the entire ride to complete. I'm going to go ahead and open it at this point. Let's give it 350, same as the roller coaster. Still won't know the actual ratings here, but so right now it's set to minimum wait time at 5 seconds, which means that if they all left within 5 seconds of each other, I mean, if there was enough guests, that they will all leave within 5 seconds of each other, which is quite a bit too short. My guess is it'll be more like 15 seconds. Basically, we can tell by taking 8 boats and dividing that by the actual amount of time this ride takes, which we won't know yet until the test results come in. And log flumes are slower, so this will be a minute. Our park entrance fee is cheap again though, so let's increment that by another $5. Park entrance fee is generally suggested based on the park value, which is 2,000 some. So as the park value increases, people will generally rate the park entrance fee as cheap. But on the flip side, if things were to go south in this park, then the park entrance fee could be too expensive if the park isn't valued well enough. Now, this may have been too long a ride. There might just be too much flat space up here, which may be a problem, but live and learn. Generally the way this game goes. Let's check to see the profit on all these rides. Bathroom, drink stall, ice cream burger bar. So all of our rides are in the positive. That took some time to update. I just looking at the slide here, and looks like not many people are going in there. Whoops. We do not need to be in path edit mode. So I can actually check this and see. Yeah, it looks like I'm thinking it's a little too expensive. Lower it down to $1. It's hard to tell exactly what the right price point is for a lot of rides because there's really no handbook on that, and it also just depends on how appealing that particular ride is to the guests at the time. And again, rides that have been around longer are generally less appealing. Yeah, I'm not paying that much. So in general, you basically just adjust the price down until you start seeing people enter. So a slide at 80 cents seems to work okay. This one probably is still too much. Still not seeing many people go in there, so I may need to drop it maybe $1. I still don't have any test results on the log flume, so this is just the final stretch here, but the line's already full. So the other problem with rides that are too long is that it actually, regardless of whether it's popular, can lead to an unprofitable ride just because the actual amount of profit that can be taken in is not enough for how long it takes to complete the cycle. So I may need to shorten this ride if this is a problem. Based on how long that was, I'm going to put this at 20 seconds. That might be a little long, but let's see what the actual ride time was. Almost 7 minutes, which for 8 boats is a little bit less than a minute per boat. So honestly, this is actually quite a bit short. I'm guessing maybe 45 seconds, which is a long time. You get 4 passengers per boat, so it could still be profitable, but ultimately this probably wasn't the best model for this type of ride. So we'll have to see. See, they've gotten in and it's now waiting the 45-second interval. We'll come back to that one. In the meantime, this looks like it's not drawing as much as it used to. You can see it's still earning income because it's still been within that hour that it had earned the income. For a 1-year scenario, this won't really be a problem, but for a park with a 3 or 4 year term, you can definitely lose money by leaving a ride that's not profitable with a price set too high, or just it's been there for too long. In general, I find that I don't really have to remove rides even after the appeal goes. I just add more rides and reduce the price. The other thing that can help is to, in our financial information, we have marketing campaigns available, and we can actually advertise a campaign for a particular ride, or we can give free rides on a particular ride, which can just kind of boost the amount of hype. So for $100, we can give free rides on this swinging ship. This also just brings some more people to the park. Now I realize I've sort of dug myself into a box here because I have no room to continue the main pathway without creating a bridge, but I will cross that bridge when I come to it, no pun intended. Just a good old-fashioned merry-go-round. Do entrance here and exit there. This one won't need that long of a queue line. That's fine. And it has the classic merry-go-round music. Which is definitely one of those signature things about this game. The music the merry-go-round makes. So this is now moving along. I'm just expecting to see this probably won't be making... Oh, it's actually... It says it's earning $667 an hour at 350. Even with 45-second intervals. See if that keeps up, especially I see people leaving because they've been waiting too long in the queue line. Well, some of that will be because they've waited for the test cycle to complete, and that probably wouldn't have made a lot of people happy, but we'll see how this goes after the cars start coming back. This ride's still going along just fine. Let's see what alerts I'm looking at. August. I may have already dealt with that. I can look historically and see I was at $5 and that was 10, 15, 20. I should be at $25. Okay. I did earn an information kiosk became available, so I can put that one right here where the park entrance is, so that everyone can get a park map, an umbrella. I don't know if they can sell anything else. Yeah, park map and umbrella, which are definitely popular when it rains. And we now have a steel roller coaster. Speaking of improvements, we build this, these are one of the really easy cells in RollerCoaster Tycoon. A standing double loop or variants of that can be quite popular for ultimately not a lot of out-of-pocket cost. So these can be set to powered launch coasters, and then some variant of a vertical loop followed by another vertical loop. You can actually do an on-ride photo section right in the middle. Those sell for $2 as well, and so those can increase profit as well. And I can even sort of twist around to save on the footprint and make it look a little cooler. And you can run an entrance back here and an exit up there. Now we want to set this to powered launch. Generally we want this to be about as low as it can be to get through the track, because increasing it beyond that can just produce unnecessary G-force, which can drive the intensity rating up considerably. So it's not fast, but it's not too slow. Let's see what the tests say on that. So the other thing is, the cycle completes so fast that you can generally get a lot of people through here, and see, it's more exciting than this one, high, high, and low. And so we can probably set that. Let's try $4. And then let's do single queue line through there. And then we're gonna have to connect this with the main path. So let's go on the bridge up there, over, go down, and then flat, and then down. Which, perfect. Throw a couple benches on there for comfort. And let's turn this on. Now over here we've got a $2 photo price. We can set that to be the same throughout the park. $4 may be too much for this, so I might have to reduce that in a second. We can also put trash cans here. I imagine people are saying that they don't want to pay as much, so let's try $3.50. $3.50 seems to be the right price, at least at the moment. How's this one doing? We're making $840 an hour. I imagine in standing. See, I want to get off log firm 1. That generally happens when the ride's just too long. People get bored while they're on it. Because one thing to consider is that time's moving a lot faster for them than it is for us. Ultimately, I would generally be pretty stoked to be on a ride that lasts longer than 45 seconds at an amusement park, but not if it's a month of your life. See, this ride here seems to have fallen out of the Spectre. We might lower the price on that to regain some enthusiasm here. And speaking of time, we're approaching October year 1, which I believe is the scenario end date. 250 guests in your park. We have over double that at the end of October, so we've got 31 days of October with a park rating of at least 600, and our park rating is 659. Which isn't like fantastic, but it's not terrible. It will work. I can try to hype this park a little bit last minute. Throw 700 down on a campaign for the entire park. So Be a billboard or something like that. A lot of people buying umbrellas, which is nice. So this is making $35.70 per hour just because of how many people can get on and off that quickly. This seems to have worked a little bit. Generally, people don't like to go on roller coasters in general when it's raining. So when it's raining, we definitely see people heading for the covered rides like the merry-go-round. There's another gentle ride coming up. I guess we could have increased this to maximum funding to get things going faster. Looking at another increment. $30 to enter the park. I know the practice of charging admission fees as well as ride fees is not actually done. But in this game it's fine to do. People are generally happy regardless. Looks like we're gaining guests now. Let's hire another handyman. Handle some of this litter. We should assign someone to this new zone since that was the end of our old zone. Let's see what guests are generally thinking. A lot of people standing in line for Log Flume 1. Yeah, this wasn't my finest idea here. It works, but there are better options. I probably should have made this the long drop after here. Or sorry, after the second one. Should have just dropped there. That would have been the end of it. But everything's working fine. And we're in October now. So at the end of this month, provided something catastrophic doesn't happen, we will have completed the scenario. A bench down there. Nothing too crazy in this part. It's sort of a primer. There's much more fun things to come in a lot of the harder scenarios. But this one's a little bit of a sandbox. There's nothing going on. The park's entirely flat. And the scenario's pretty easy to achieve. I wish I had a balloon stall. When they have balloons, they'll actually let them fly all at once when the scenario objective is completed. But no balloon stall by October year 1. This is, I think, by far the shortest scenario objective that this game has. Most of them are 3 years, if not 4 years. Might be a couple that are 2 years, but one of them might even be 5 years. And as far as I'm able to tell, it's about 1 hour of real time for in-game month, for an in-game year. An observation tower. Might be able to slip it in here before the game ends. The game doesn't really end, but you can continue playing as many years as you want. Let's build a little one here. Entrance and an exit. Advertising campaign for the park is finished. Let's throw a queue line in here and an exit path. Open that for $1. Oops. Just to throw something in there last minute. We're getting decently close here. That advertising campaign's brought about 89 more people in. They're still coming. We're park rating is, looks like a little higher, 728. So I think we're not in any dangerous territory at this point. That's now, no one's going in there. So let's make that a little cheaper. People are still going in here. People still in that ride. Generally, by just glancing around at the queue lines, I got a decent sense of how profitable a ride might be. People coming in now. And obviously there's so many theming options and colorizing and a lot of customization that I did not delve into in this particular scenario, but in the future we'll definitely be looking forward to going through some more fun customization options. For the meantime, I think this park worked out pretty well for being rusty. That was the observation tower. Another gentle ride coming up. But I believe that'll happen after we're finished. Just check and see. People, yeah. Haunted House 1, just not that attractive to people, even at 40 cents, even though it's I think the cheapest ride in the park. People are still looking for something more fun. And this one here, the queue line's just diminished at $1.30, so we lower the price. This is where I mean with the diminishing income, you want to make sure that you're consistently building brand new rides that are high value, so that when these older rides get to be really hard to earn profit off of, it's not too big of a problem. Because I imagine at 40 cents, yeah, we're now making $27 an hour, so this ride's not costing us any more money, but it's completely negligible in terms of actually earning an income, and can actually pay down some of our loan here. But you can see a $10,000 loan, our interest on it is $16.40 a month. It's like just a joke. So I'm actually just going to leave it. Looks like people are generally pretty happy. There's 614 guests. Guests are still climbing, and 776 rating. I would think I'd call this a success, at least in its first year. And there we are. I like the touch that everyone claps at the same time and looks directly at you. It's a little bit creepy, but now we go back to doing their thing. And our company value was $13,934. And we've achieved it. Well, that's going to do this episode, and go ahead and save that. But I look forward to starting a new map. We will jump into Dynamite Dunes next time, and just as a primer, we'll have 650 guests in the park at the end of October Year 3 with a park rating of 600. So that's a 3-year scenario, a little bit longer, and 650 guests is a little bit more. But it's a more interesting map. We've got a desert theme out here, some mountains, an existing mine train roller coaster, and basically the rest is ours to figure out. I look forward to joining you then.